Good luck out there, Helldiver. shit. I gotta leave. Hold on. Let me do that. So it'll play through the video. Okay. So, that being fixed. Liberator, standard look, medium armor penetrating, damage, capacity, recoil should be all self-explanatory. Your underbarrel does play a part in what you have access to, so if you want a laser with a flashlight, you would run this, which lasers are kind of pointless in this game. We have a reticle, it's mostly just for looks after that. No underbarrel will usually always give you the highest ergonomics that I've seen. 61. Okay, it's also the angled. I usually run the vertical foregrip because flashlights are a need in this game. That recoil sim, that's your pattern if you were just to hold your right trigger down and just rip all the way through your magazine. Compensator will always dampen it the most out of all of these. You know, sometimes it'll, like the muzzle blade, the break, it'll narrow. No attachment, standard, flash hider, it'll drop it down a little bit. Compensator, it'll shoot as flat as it can, but it has a lot of horizontal in it. Patterns, pretty much just paint it. All of these, everything from Helldiver down is all locked behind levels. Same thing as weapon attachments. See, I don't have access to this because it needs to be level 24. It is level 18. Let's see. If you get the Super Citizen bundle, you get this submachine gun. It will look like this when you first get it. Me personally, I like it like this because it has the highest vertical on recoil, because for some reason this gun just hates you for some reason. Because like this is like, okay, see there, that's nothing on the gun, and it's all the way up all over the place. Not good. You want to drop that down. Let's see. We finally have suppressed weapons in the game, such as this here. To my knowledge, it is only the ODST weapons that are suppressed. Most of them. I say most. There's like 2. Defender. Some submachine guns are one-handed. That is a massive role player in the game. Like this here, medium armor pen. It's a submachine gun. If you press in your left stick on it to where it says customize, you can view how many magazines it has. This one has 9, which I wish we could upgrade that, but we can't. If it doesn't have a level, you don't worry about leveling it up. Don't sweat it. You cannot customize this gun any further. Same thing as the M90A and the STA-11 SMG. This gun came with Killzone. That's almost a year old by now. Hopefully that makes a return. I hope it makes a return because there's a really good rifle in the game. Well, in that promo. Shotguns, standard. The spray and pray and the standard are full auto. These 4 are pump. You can also load these at rounds at a time. If it says rounds reload, that doesn't mean you have to worry about running the entire magazine out to reload. Unlike these here, which are the bottom 3. The breaker and the breaker spray and pray are both full auto. However, the incendiary, for some reason, is 3-round burst. The eruptor, It's an explosive rifle. It's also heavy armor penetrating. You don't really use it for heavy armor penetrating. You usually use this weapon for like clearing out chunks of enemies. Exploding crossbow, pretty much the exact same thing, but this one is one-handed. You will see a lot more people run the eruptor over the crossbow, but for some reason the crossbow, even though it says it's medium armor, I have seen it take out hulks. Punisher plasma, it lobs like just a ball of plasma. It'll hit either the enemy or the ground. This has pretty decent. I haven't used it since it got buffed. Accelerator rifle. This is the rifle I was talking about. 3-round explosive rounds. Can't go wrong with it. Pretty good. The scythe. This is when we start to get to the heat weapons. Heat weapons require a thing called an ice. It's a... Here, I can pull it up on this one because I know where it's at. It's that yellow rectangle. If you heat up the weapon too much, it will have to eject it. So think of it as like a radiator. You don't want your radiator to, get overheated, which is why you need to use ice on it. These will passively cool down. These weapons here, they will cool down. Depending on the planet, they will either cool down slower or faster, depending on what type of planet you're on. So if you're on Hellmire, for an example, it's going to take a bit longer for it to cool all the way down, besides going to, I'm drawing a blank, like an ice planet. So heat planet cools down slow, ice planet cools down fast. Which is why you see a lot of more people running these types of weapons on cold planets, because you'll love it. These have a pseudo infinite ammo to it. I mean, it's kind of what it is. Just don't overheat. Blitzer's pretty good. This gun will team kill. It gets weird. I don't know why. It just does. It's infinite ammo, as you can see, because of the infinity symbol. I hear it's a solid gun. It's not my play style. I will come back and visit it. Scorcher, pretty much just one of these, but it's like a rifle. Rifle, medium armor pen, explosive. Pretty much rocks everything. People love the Scorcher and the Purifier on the bot front. They love it. I don't know why. People do. Me personally, I like the Scorcher more, because I just find it more usable. There's a lot of people that argue that the Purifier is better, which that's up to them. Usually these two guns run together. There's no proof that one's better than the other. It's just preference. These are. The variable. Variable's really weird. It is a weird gun. It has 3 select fires. So, wrong gun. So, variable, it came out with the control group Warbond. It has 49 bullets in each magazine. However, if I can get it, each one of these barrels will fire X amount of times before you have to reload it. And I know it looks like a minigun or a Gatling gun. That's not it. This is supposed to be like a pepper box, which is an old pistol. There are 3 fires. There is, I think it's full auto, volley in total. Full auto, it's, light penetrating. There's a few small enemies out there and you want to use a rifle on them, you go for it. Now volley, that's when you start to get towards like the DMRs. That's your, like, oh, that guy's way over there, I'm still gonna shoot him. Now total will fire the entire magazine, and depending on how much ammo you have, depends on how hard it hits. Now, with that being said, you can make your character fall down with the variable. And if you use it too much with the total, you will break your character's arm using it. That's just something they hard-coded into the game. Flamethrower. We all know how flamethrowers work. There's like 4 different versions of a flamethrower in this game. The Jar 5 Dominator. This gun's weird because it is based off of the Gyrojet platform. That means if you shoot it, I I I don't really use this gun because, as you can see, it's level 1. I don't really care for it. Uh, there are reports of it if you shoot at an enemy and you wait for it to, like, fire like the jet in the back of it, it does explosive damage, even though it's not listed. That's what I hear. I'm not for sure. I haven't tested it. On to secondaries. Secondaries are weird now. The Warrant, lock-on pistol, one-handed. Peacemaker, standard pistol. That's the first one you get. The Verdict. This came out in Polar Patriots. Not a bad gun. Not a bad gun. Even though, if you're going to go out of your way just to get the Verdict from Polar Patriots, honestly, just go get the Outlaw one for the Talon. The Talon will always outperform the Verdict. Verdict's pretty much obsolete by now. Let's see. Redeemer, full auto Uzi, Mac 10, that type of gun. Suppressed pistol, pretty much the exact same as the Peacemaker here, just does a bit more damage. Now the Senator, this gun is a haymaker. You can kill Hulks, Factory Striders, Bile Titans, pretty much anything that has heavy armor, you can kill it with this. It's a phenomenal gun on the bot front. If you see a Hulk coming towards you and you don't have anything heavy, pull out your pistol, start shooting it in the eye. Melee weapons, this is where stuff gets even more awkward. Stun Lance, standard, saber, sword, hatchet, pretty much the exact attack style as this, same thing as this here, but this one stuns. And then you have the machete. This weapon is slow. It is slow as can be. Now, stim pistol. Stim pistol, shoot a teammate with it, you heal them. It also holds the effects of any type of stim. So if you're running the medic set, you're pretty much going to give somebody your armor passive, which is stims last 2 seconds longer. Just that stims last 2 seconds longer, this pistol starts to outperform most healing, which is not much. Bushwhacker, it's a 3-barreled shotgun. You can either fire 1 barrel at a time or all 3. All 3 does more damage than 1, but you have to reload a lot. Personally, I kind of fell out of touch with this gun just because I like using the Talon. Talon, bread and butter. Think of it like the Senator, but it's infinite ammo, because as you see, it says heat, which means it's a quote unquote laser weapon. But this one fires a lot like where is it? The sickle. The sickle and the double-edged sickle don't fire a beam, they fire like bolts. Kind of like Star Wars, so think Star Wars when you see these two. Dagger, this one fires a beam. This one's really good for taking, just set stuff on fire from far away. Just use that gun for this. Grenade pistol, self-explanatory. Ultimatum, you get 2 shots with it at most. This is like a precision strike, but it's in your pocket. I mean, me personally, I don't really care for it because, like I said, I prefer the Talon over everything. Loyalist is pretty much just a pocket, I think, purifier? Yes. It's just a pocket purifier. Not too crazy, just medium armor, charges, stuff like that. Done. Now this is when we start to get into the grenades. Grenades, light armor has a massive, 10-meter radius. This is 12. This is 10. 7. I haven't really used this one. It says it's a cluster grenade. I haven't tested that out yet, so this one separates itself and explodes a bit more. High explosive. You can just blow stuff that has heavy armor. Just blow it up. The G10 incendiary. A lot of people opt for the impact one. Think Molotov cocktail when you see the word impact. These are pretty good. These are okay in my opinion. The G16 impact. These are okay, but if you're going to be using these on bug holes and like not factories, fabricators, don't. It's not really worth wasting grenades trying to blow something up when you can just call down a hell pod on it. I don't really care for impact grenades anymore. We have arc grenades now, pretty much like a mini Tesla tower. Stun grenades, these have been around forever. Gas grenades, you throw it into a crowd of enemies, they start attacking each other because they get confused. Seeker grenades, you throw it up in the air and it'll hover around you, and anything you mark, it will fly towards it. These do have a battery life though. Urchin, I haven't really used it. I think it's just a stun grenade that picks a target that you throw it onto and it keeps it there. Thermite. Thermites are weird. They're weird but cool. Thermites, if you hold it in your hand and you wait for so long, you can get it to start sparking and then throw it into a group of enemies, and then right when it sticks onto an enemy, it'll blow up and it'll just cover everything in fire. These are really good against like Chargers, Bile Titans, tanks, Hulks. People like these. I don't. I usually carry anti-tank stuff anyways. Smoke grenades. Metal Gear Solid. That's exactly how these are. These grenades, people will sit there and cook them off in their hand because they don't damage you. So that way you can just pop a smoke screen whenever. Throwing knives. I don't know why we have these. We do. Pyrotech. These grenades are cool. If you throw them down, they will hover above the ground and spin, making everything go on fire. I think you get like 6 of these, I think. Anyway, that's about it for the grenades. Armors. Pretty much just read the armor passive of the armor that you like. If you don't like this look, don't worry. There will always be a different look. Because we have servo assisted and pretty much every color besides pink, like pink, bright orange, and I think tan. Wait, no, we do have it in tan. It's this one. Servo assisted used to be the best one because it was the most reliable because the throwing range and the 50% limb health. It's slowly starting to get phased out a bit from what I'm seeing. I don't know. There's other armor sets I would rather run than servo assisted now because it's just getting phased out. Medkit, that's the passive I was talking about. It increases your personal stim capacity by 2, and stim effect lasts 2 seconds longer. Fortified, you take 50% less explosive damage, and your recoil is dampened by 30% when crouching or prone. That 30% feels like 60. I don't know why. Siege Ready is pretty cool. You get more ammo and you reload more quickly with your primary. Engineering kit is kind of like fortified. However, engineering kit increases your grenades by 2 and you still keep the 30% recoil. Desert Stormer, that's a new passive. Provides 40% resistance to fire, gas, acid, and electrical, and your throwing range is increased by 20. So instead of 30, it's 20. That's how they balance a few things. Peak Physique. Peak Physique is what you're going to see most people that are doing melee. You're going to see them run this the most if they're going for heavy hitters. Because your melee damage is increased by 100 and weapon drag is pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can spin around 180 and you'll always be on target. Now, this is when we start to get to the weird armors. The weirder armors, such as here at Bleeding Edge, the Adrenal Defibrillator. If your diver is still intact, jeez, dude. If your hell diver is still intact, you will slowly bleed out over time, but you can still, like, fight off stuff, call stuff down, stuff like that. It's pretty much supposed to be like a last stand from Borderlands in a way. Stim effect lasts 2 seconds longer, 50% resistant to arc damage. I run this armor set against the Illuminate mostly because I just like being a pest to them. Integrated explosive, you explode. I don't know why. You just do. You also carry more grenades. For memes, I guess. Pretty much all of these are pretty much self-explanatory. Democracy protects. This one's weird. You have a 50% chance of not dying. However, you will be left at 1 HP. But all your chest hemorrhage damage will be non-existent. Hemorrhaging from the chest used to just be an annoyance back in the old days. However, since Control Group came out, chest hemorrhaging has been more worrisome in a way. Usually when I run Democracy Protects, if I'm hemorrhaging from the chest, I just ignore it. Just ignore it. I don't need to stim that. We're fine. Feet first. These two armors, the Hell Jumper and the Recon, these are pretty solid because I like making less sound. I like the point of interest identification range. I love this armor set because it outdoes the Scout armor. The Scout armor's for enemies. These are for farming. Like, you need super credits, you would run one of those. Medics. Can't think of any other weird ones. Oh, there's Acclimated. Acclimated, pretty much the exact same thing as the Desert Stormer. However, you lose the throw distance, but you increase on resistance. I mean, Scout armor also, they can't really detect you. They can still hear you, but they won't detect you. It's those helmets. Helmets don't do a thing besides looks. There used to be a bug with one helmet giving you a higher armor rating. It used to be this one, the Dynamo. It would give you a higher armor rating than usual. So if people were running, heavy armor, they would run this helmet because the game kind of glitched out a while back, and you just got more armor. Not all armor, like your armor rating set to 150, that's not set in stone because of like extra padding. This one gives you 200. Here we go. So the standard for light armor is 50, 550, 125. For some reason, this one is 70, 530, 115. I don't know why. It's this one, and I think one other, and I can't remember the name of it. There's another one that's weird. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah, the Demolition Specialist. I don't know why these two are special. I think these are, from what I remember, these are the only two in the game that do that. Also, this is, to my knowledge, this is the only light armor with servo assisted. They just haven't made another one. Capes. Capes are pretty standard. A lot of these are through war bonds. This one was through an event. This one was through protecting Super Earth. I am missing one. I'm missing the Malevelon Creek cape because I got the game after. This is the Super Citizen one. The neat thing about this cape, there's a very, very small chance that if a bot sees this cape, they will run in the opposite direction. I'm not joking. This happens. I confirmed it. I saw it on YouTube. I tested it. It works. I also believe that is the only cape that has a hidden passive that nobody really talks about. Character, customize how your character looks. Voice pack, you can decide if you want a character set voice or a randomized voice when you spawn in. Emotes, you can have up to 4. A lot of these are 2 people. They're pretty cool. I mean, there's that. Victory poses. I don't know if any of these are from a different warbond other than Helldivers Mobilize. Player cards, warbonds. Titles. Titles are weird. So, with titles, it's every 5 levels till you hit level 50, you gain a title. So you start off at Cadet, level 5 Space Cadet, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And then this is your level 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. Wait, hold on. No, that's wrong. How is that wrong? Because this is supposed to be level 150. This is 150 because there's nothing above level 150. So it's 150, 150, 140, 130, and all the way down to 0. This is the only title that has a special font color. This was also the only alternate title you could have at the time, and then it went to Viper Commandos shortly afterwards. Viper Commandos was the first warbond that allowed us to paint stuff as well. All these titles here, they're kind of all out of order. I don't know why. They just are. Like Burier of Heads, Rookie, all these are from warbonds. This game runs and lives off warbonds. So each warbond besides, hold on, every warbond besides the Halo warbond is 1,000 super credits. Along with that, usually, because I'm saying usually because I didn't do it for the Halo one, the Superstore will also get an armor set for that warbond. So if a warbond drops, surely enough, there's going to be something in the Superstore. These here, since these are newer, they cycle through. They have a set timer indicated in the top left. All these are permanent. Everything from Urban Legends all the way back to Helldivers Mobilize. They will all stick around. How it used to be was so many days, the superstore would change out. So this is all you got, was these 2 armor sets and the 2 helmets. That was the only thing you got out of the superstore. If it's not what you wanted, you would have to consult a drop table to, see when you're supposed to play Helldivers and get the armor set that you want. Now, you just do this. The only thing you have to, well, I shouldn't say that. The only thing that you have access to pay for is super credits. Medals, samples, rec slips, XP. That is all earned through the game. You have to play the game to complete stuff. Now, you don't have to pay for these. You can go to like a level 1 mission and just farm up a ton of super credits. If you want to just get the game, that's all you got to do. You just got to get the game. You can farm these on your own or with another person. You don't got to get too crazy. Let's see. Me personally, and this is me, and I know you guys have a lot more toys than I did. Me personally, I would highly, highly recommend you get through Helldivers Mobilized. Just get through it till you can get this booster. Hellpod Space Optimization is a godsend. That means every time you spawn in or load into a mission, you have max equipment. Unless you have the ultimatum, then that is the only time you will not have full equipment. The ultimatum had a nerf. People got mad about it. I don't care about it. It's just a big grenade. If I need a big grenade, I'll run the precision strike. You get emotes through this. This is the only warbond you get for free. Like, this is the one that comes pretty much with the game. This is what you get. Now, if you get the Super Citizen bundle, you will also get Steeled Veterans for free, which has, servo assisted, reinforced management, emotes, the Breaker Incendiary. A lot of people love this warbond for the Breaker Incendiary. Senator, Concussive. I mean, if you get this warbond, I mean, you get a good chunk of stuff that can help you out. Like servo assisted, even though it is being phased out, it is still highly loved by low levels. Me personally, I too also ran servo assisted. I like servo assisted. It's a good starter. Helldivers Mobilized has the most pages. Has 10 pages. It also takes 2015 medals to complete. That is a lot. That is a lot. However, with Helldivers Mobilized, you also get some like the best stuff. Also, in each warbond, you do get super credits. So you usually get like, I think it's 300. So in total, each warbond costs 700 super credits. This one here, they pretty much give you super credits like every page, pretty much. You also get the Liberator Penetrator in this, which is why I say you should probably focus on this one, because I like this one. It's awesome. You get the Recon Booster. With boosters, they also stack onto armor passives. So if you were running the Scout armor or the Hell Jumper armor, with the Feet First passive, this makes it roided out. Like, you pretty much know where everything's at on the map if you're running the Hell Jumper armor. It goes from standard to I can see everything on the map. Pretty much same thing. Different armors. When we started seeing stratagems in warbonds was the chemical agents. This introduced the whole stratagem thing. People kind of got mad about it. Some people didn't really care. I'm one of those people that didn't really care. You have stratagems, and war bonds now, big whoop. You know, they need to find some way to get money into the game, because there are people that pay for this out of their own pocket, which perfectly fine with them. They're supporting a game that they like. Me personally, I do farming and I pay for them. So just depends what you want. It just goes back and forth. As you can see, you can paint stuff. I can show you that. This is the warbond I was talking about with the Talon, the borderline justice. Pretty much, I like this warbond strictly because of the Talon and the Deadeye. Deadeye is a pretty fun rifle, in my opinion. Masters of Ceremony. I like this armor set now because they changed it. So it gives you 30% reload speed, 50% chance to avoid a limb injury, and it increases your melee damage. This is the armor set that I was telling Colonel to run because he was trying to use the Constitution and he hated it. If you use this armor set or this armor or one of them that has this passive, the Constitution, besides it being a burden, becomes a wonderful multi-tool. But you have to be running this armor. I know it sucks, but that's Helldivers. Same thing for the amendment. It's just a light round burst rifle. I don't know why it's light round, light armor penetrating. I don't know why. It just is. Force of Law. This is when we started to get, a bit more wild with electrical. Like the Guard Dog Canine. If it arcs and there's a friendly in front of you, it will shoot your friendly. So if you're running this pack and like somebody's next to you, press down on D-pad so you can stow it on the back and just let it hang out on the back. Just let it take a smoke break. Let it chill out. So that's war bonds. Pretty much just that.
Hail Super Earth.
That lady will talk every time you complete a mission. I don't care. Destroyer, you can change the name of your ship and it's for free, so you can name yourself Wings of Redemption if you want. Go crazy. Stratagems. You can buy all these stratagems as long as you're past level 25. You can buy all of these besides the ones that list off a warbond name, like Chemical Agents, Urban Legends, Servants of Freedom, Borderline Justice. You get the gist of it. All of these you have to have the warbond for. Okay, here we go. So like the Portable Hell Bomb, for an example. Portable Hell Bomb. Just because it is in the stratagem menu doesn't mean you have to pay for it twice. All you gotta do is go out, get the medals, pay for it once, and then you have it for the rest of your life. People got kind of mad about that. It's self-explanatory. You don't have to spend rec slips on stratagems if it's from a warbond. Now, if it's not from a warbond, you have to have the requisition slips to pay for these. These are not in order. I don't know why. They just aren't. I wish they would make them in order to where if it's like, oh, you're level 5, you have access to all of these, and I don't know. Max level for access to all stratagems is level 25. That being said, the last stratagem that you get access to is the exosuits. The Patriot exosuit and the Emancipator. We don't have tanks yet. I don't know why. I guess they're all in Helldivers 1 and we just haven't shipped them over yet. Ship modules. These cost samples and rec slips. No more, no less. All these are the passes that I listed off beforehand. You need samples, you need rec slips, you need medals. Vehicle customization. Paint. If you want to make your Pelican bright orange, you can make it bright orange. Me personally, I like the anodized blue. Hellpod. Make it whatever color you want. Same thing for the exosuit. I mean, if you want this exosuit to be bright green and this one bright orange, go for it. I mean, me personally, you know, I prefer not to make my mech look like throw up, but some people do. Fast Recon vehicle, this is the newest one. This came out with Urban Legends. Urban Legends, the War Bond also came out when the FRV came into business. You can pay for this with rec slips. It was part of an event because we had to take over a planet so that way we could start fabricating FRVs. Now, the exosuits. Exosuits are weird. You only get like 3 of them per mission. The FRV, however, depends on how long you want to wait. If the timer was infinite, you get an infinite supply of FRVs. I guess we ran out of legs and Granin from Metal Gear Solid 3 went out on a smoke break and he can't keep making mechs, I guess. I don't know. Shuttles, same thing. That's the hangar. Robotics, engineering, spawn, stratagem. This is only available if you have Super Citizen. So there's that. All of this stuff is mostly for looks. I mean, my ship's maxed out. That's why I got banners hanging around everywhere. I got people chilling out down below. Hellpods.
Helldiver, the Super Destroyer is ready for your next mission.
That guy'll ramble. These here, if it says the Liberated move to new planet, however, if you want to finish out this operation, you can still finish the operation. But it'd be kind of pointless because it's liberated. We don't need to worry about this planet being taken anymore.
Helldivers across the galaxy are fighting for every inch of territory.
I am trying
Where
to
will
talk.
you join them?
Shut up. Okay, so bug front, illuminate front, bot front. With that being said, so you see this weird banner thing right here next to the planet? That means that the incinerator core is on that planet. There was one time to where the incinerator core and the jet brigade were both on the same planet, and that was when they were trying to make a sprint to Malevelon Creek. Funny thing enough, we stopped them because we're cool like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go back over here. Is it up here? Okay, select anywhere.
The bugs are a plague. You are the vaccine.
We'll just do this. So, we now have access to city operations that came out shortly after Super Earth was being taken over. With that being said, difficulty 1 is your first difficulty. You gotta start off at 1 and work your way up to 10. With that being said, samples indicated at the very far bottom of the screen, well, bottom middle, depends on what it is. Now, the higher difficulty you go, you gain access to more samples. So a level 4 mission will always outdo a level 1. Same thing for level 2, 3, 4, you get the picture. Also, if you see down at the bottom, if I go up to level 4, you see how that orange square also lit up? That means that you can also get rare samples in these missions. Bump it up to 6, you have access to all 3. However, level 6, you know, okay, we're getting close to 10. That's when stuff's going to start getting hectic, right? No, level 6 is pretty easy. As long as you know what you're doing and your squad knows what you're doing, level 6 is easy. 7, I usually play on 7 if I just want to chill out, vibe, and shoot stuff for democracy. 8, for some reason 8's a weird turning point. It feels easier than a 6 sometimes. Sometimes it feels more difficult than a 10. I don't know why. But, so, see, we're on level 6. For you to go up to level 7, you have to complete all 3 of these missions, and then you will get a notification saying, hey, you can now qualify for suicide missions. Same thing for 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 is, a lot of people say 10 is like wild. Me personally, it just depends what faction and what modifier there is. If it's a Predator strain on a difficulty 10, it's gonna be a hot minute before, everything will be fine and dandy. Level 10s aren't too crazy. You just got to make sure everybody stays coordinated and knows what they're doing. Okay, so on the right side of the screen, our major order, which is done in 12 hours. I mean, I think we're gonna get it. It will always tell you your major order in this screen. Just viewing the table. You usually get 55 medals. Now, for a personal order, everybody gets the same personal order. It's not different at all to anybody else. Throughout all the time I've been playing this game, it's been the same for everybody. Successfully extract with 5 rare samples. That means you grab 5 rare samples in one mission, extract, you get 15 medals. These circulate every day. So, up to you if you want to do them. Me personally, I just get them out of the way. They're easy medals. I mean, 15 doesn't sound like a lot, but once you start stacking and adding them all together, you're going to start asking, can I have something to spend medals on?
Helldivers across the galaxy.
Democracy Space Station. You can dump resources into this. So it's like, okay, I want to have Eagle Storm available, or I want to push, Eagle Storm. Okay, well, I would have to start dumping in common samples. Orbital Blockade, I gotta start throwing Rex Slips at it. Ordnance, I gotta start throwing rares at it. So this pretty much becomes something that like the higher levels will do, because there's nothing for us to spend samples on. Now, location. This is how we vote. Anything that has the highest percentage will stick to that planet. So if I was to vote stay to that planet, it would be pointless because it's at 82%. Station moves in 22 minutes. That means it's pretty much just gonna stay there pretty much. It's not even gonna move. I mean, some people are wanting it to move to Seychelles Beach. We don't need it there. You'd be dumb to put it there. We need it here because this planet is about to get overtaken. Well, not really. Okay, so defenses are weird. You should be able to read a timer. So that reads 1 day, 5 hours, 54 minutes, and 54 seconds.
How dare the enemy sully our well-swept streets?
Okay, so
choose an operation and
cities,
free this world from tyranny.
Swear to God. So cities, the more red there is, or any other color besides blue, that shows if the city was either ruined or we were able to keep it. If it's full blue, like how it is grayed out, that city's safe. We're not going to worry about that city. Now, with the blue bar being more than the red, we'll be fine. But we still need to run that bar out. Just because we have more than the bots doesn't mean necessarily we're going to get that planet, to my knowledge. We have to fill the entire bar out on our front before they do. Which is why Blockade, this here, plays a wonder. It will halt all It'll block everything from coming into that planet's atmosphere and causing a nuisance. It's wonderful for defense campaigns. So, location.
Our city burns. We must rescue it.
He talks a lot. So, weird side note about this guy. Sometimes he has an eye patch.
Democracy calls for aid.
Sometimes he don't.
Only you can answer, Helldiver.
Okay, shut up. Sometimes he has an eye patch, sometimes he don't. I don't know why. For me, 9 times out of 10, he usually has an eye patch. That's something that they added with Super Earth. I don't know why that they alternate between having an eye patch and not having an eye patch. People make a big deal about it. Me personally, I don't care. I'm just here to shoot stuff and have fun. Also, the L2 and R2 in the bottom right of my screen. L2 shows dispatches. This will tell you what's going on. R2 will tell you what's going on in that mission. You can also view it by going to this.
Jump to the Hellmeyer system.
I'm already on Hellmeyer. Should have been. So, Hellmeyer.
FTL jump mission preparation aborted.
So,
mission coordinates locked.
I press R2. We got fire tornadoes and intense heat to worry about. We got those to worry about. This will also show you, it'll say, like, on the Illuminate front, if you look at the effects, sometimes it'll say Leviathan blockade, which means that the Leviathan ship will sometimes fly around and just kind of mess with your team a bit. Just bring anti-tank stuff and shoot it out of the air. You'll be fine. So, there's that. If you're in the screen like this, we can see how many people are active. You know, pretty much just a summary on the top left. If we zoom into a sector, that shows how many enemies, Helldivers, all that stuff has been killed in that sector. Same thing for this here. I don't know why we have people in this sector. Also, another thing, these planets, we lost them. That we're not to ever play on them again. We just don't have them anymore. Meridia used to be way up here. Used to be right here. Well, Meridia became a hive planet, and
from the affliction of bug and bot alike.
Meridia became heavily infested, and the only way that we were to ever get rid of Meridia is to make it into a black hole. That's what we did, and then the Illuminate came out of it, messed with Mars. Mars is on fire. That's why training, the tutorial, is now on Super Earth. It used to be on Mars. Used to be. Not anymore. So now it's on Super Earth. There's that. If you pause, you can access this menu at any given time if you're in a mission or on your ship. This will also tell you your major order, personal order, credits, who all's the friends online, you know, your options, you know, pretty much just all your stuff. It's self-explanatory. Don't really know what else to really talk about. The game's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, support weapon, you know, you gotta shoot stuff. Recoilless. If it comes with a bag, please equip the bag that it comes with. It has a backpack for a reason. Grab it. And also, if it says stationary reload, that means your character has to stop, crouch down, so you can reload. Some weapons, like the flamethrower, stalwart, anti-material rifle, railgun, you can run around with these and reload them. But the spear, wasp, you gotta crouch down and reload them. Now, Your orbitals are pretty useful. I use these on planets with a lot of trees because Eagle 1 kind of just likes to shoot trees. Orbitals like this, they'll always go in between the trees and hit on target. Also, with the Eagles being said, Eagles, let's say you have 2 uses of the strafing run, but none in the airstrike. You can tell Eagle 1 to refill before you exhaust all of your strafing runs. So if you want to just, say, hey, go resupply, it'll go out, resupply, and come back. However, there is a massive, wonderful buff. I love it. If you have uses still remaining, you can make it come back faster. So, your crew gets trained, hey, we don't have to reload the whole plane. We just have to top off whatever they have, whatever they want. Minimap radius, it's all neat stuff. I don't know. Circuit expansion, lightning arcs, I don't know why it's just the arc thrower in the Tesla tower. They need to have the other stratagems put on there, such as the K9 and the grenade launcher. That also shoots arc stuff. There is a hidden trait of things, and it's called demolition. Demolition's weird, because nobody really understands it a lot. We just kind of have a vague understanding of it. So, let me see if I can find it. Is it not this one? Oh, here it is. It's part of the bridge. So, the precision strike, it has a physical shell that will come down, hit the ground, and explode. You can take out fabricators with the precision strike, and I'm not talking the small ones. I'm talking like the gunship fabricators and jammers. If the shell from a Siege artillery, precision strike, pretty much anything that comes from the sky hits it, usually that will destroy it. But the 500 kilogram, it's here or there. Don't really know why. It just is. I don't know. It's just the emplacements. You manually have to shoot those. They don't shoot for you. Battlement. People can crouch behind these with you, such as indicated in the tutorial. If you use all the ammo in the grenade launcher, the battlement will still stay deployed. The only time it will not be is if it gets destroyed. Minefield, grenade launcher, supply pack. How you use the packs on your back, like such as the supply pack, you hit down on D-pad for controllers. That's how you access it for yourself. Now for your friends, you would run up them, hit X or A depending on what controller you play with. Laser cannon, scythe, big, angry, heavy armor penetrating. Ballistic shield. It does exactly that. You can stab from behind it, you can shoot from behind it. You can become a walking shield if you want. It depends on what armor penetration that the enemy has. I think this also has level 4 armor. So anti-tank will mess it up, but heavy and anti-tank will mess it up. However, level 3 and 4 will chip at its health. It does have a health bar. Anything lower, it ricochets. Quasar charges up, infinite ammo. Can't go wrong with it. It does take a while to cool down, but you'll be fine. Sentries, pretty much exactly that. They shoot for you. Now, the guard dog, These are pretty solid. It uses bullets. You have to restock the bag. It's medium armor. Does a wonderful job at keeping stuff away from you. There is a laser version one of these. I personally don't really care for it. I think it team kills more than gets enemies killed. It kind of just sucks, in my opinion. I would rather prefer to have a guard dog than a rover. I mean, can't really show you anything else. Weapons, like I said, customize them, paint them, do whatever you want. You can mess with their stats. Some weapons do not have access to like drum mags and stuff. I don't know why, they just don't. I guess we left the extended mags on Super Earth like 100 years ago or something. But got all that. Can't really think of anything else to really talk about. So, is there any questions you have? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's very simple to understand. It's once you play it and you start to realize it, it'll snap real quick with you. It'll be easy, painless, simple. It's Helldivers. Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, if you have more questions, I'll answer them. I don't care answering questions. I live by a personal rule that if a person has a question, you know, they're, for lack of a better term, if they have a question, they're stupid, but they're trying to be smart. Now, a retard is a person that chooses to be stupid. You know, trying to put the square in the circle hole even though they've been told that it don't fit. It's just, some people are like that, but like if you or other people have questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. I try. I try to answer questions. If I don't know, I'll try to give you my best answer. There are wikis that you can read on to be like, hey, what does this do? How does this work? You know, what's the armor rating, health, you know, health, stuff like that. Health in Helldivers works a lot different than what, you know, like your Call of Duty, Red Dead. Yeah, it's health in this game goes based off of limbs, because in Helldivers 2, enemies can bleed out. It's not like Fallout 4 to where, oh, you took my arm off, I'm just gonna hit you with my other hand now. No. If it's a bug, bot, squid, if you knock off their arm, they ain't gonna be standing around long, they'll bleed out and die. Depending on the enemy type. Because there is one bug type that's black and red. If you see a big black and red bug, don't shoot it in the head. If you shoot it in the head, you're just going to make it mad. Shoot its legs. Because if you wound it, it'll try to crawl towards you, and by the time it gets to you, you're already like 2 feet back. It'll just die. But that's simple. Not really anything else. There's 3 indicators of armor penetration. If the hit marker is white, you're doing 50% damage. If it's red, you're doing 100% damage. If it shows a shield with a bouncing hit on it, you're not doing any damage. You're just ricocheting it and making it mad. That's what that is. You can destroy armor in this game. Let's say you and I are fighting a charger, and I hit it in the side with an expendable anti-tank, and like the squishy bits are exposed on its side. You don't need to follow up with another eat. You can use your light armor pistol and shoot it into squishy bits to help kill it. And this game's pretty standard. You knock their head off, they die pretty quick. That goes for most enemies. It's simple. Also, sometimes, I don't know why, sometimes the TV plays. It don't always play. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. It just depends on what you want. But yeah, the more you upgrade your ship, the more stuff that gets put on it. You know, when like the main cannon out there in the middle came out as an upgrade, I always made the joke that my ship's a boy ship because it has a PP, because that's what it looks like on the front. Also, with all these other ships, those are other squads of other people playing the game. If you see a ship explode, that means that they failed the mission. So if you see a ship explode, they failed the mission. That's what I hear. That's what it indicates. So if you see a ship explode, they failed their mission. You know, womp womp, I guess. You know, this is... You select a mission, then you would run up here and get into one of these. Usually, as a rule of thumb, you know, I usually stand up here when somebody's picking a mission, so that way I can go to one of these two, because, you know, it's closer to me and it's farther from them. So if I'm running up... Shut up.
Let us rally to her defense.
Yeah, no kidding. Usually if I'm running up these stairs and I have somebody behind me, I'll always take the farthest hell pod, because in this game, you have to wait for everybody to get into a hell pod, and then you can start selecting your loadout. Me personally, if you take the closest hell pod, you're just wasting time. I don't like to waste time. I just like to go in, get shit done, you know, for democracy. You can do stuff like that. Oh, I need to talk about boosters. I almost forgot boosters. Boosters are self-explanatory. Where are... There we are. Okay, so these are all self-explanatory. This gives you more reinforcement budget. This makes... If we're really screwed up, which means that we exhausted all the reinforcements, this makes the reinforcement come off cooldown quicker. This one adds to it. This one just takes the cooldown less. Localized confusion. It reduces time between enemy encounters. Don't use this on a defense mission. Just don't. Don't do that. You use this when we're out exploring. You only do that when we're out exploring. Go crazy, you know. Use localized confusion. Don't use it on a defense. We have to clear out the wave, so that way the objective can, you know, be launched into space. That's how the defenses work in this game. It's not based off of a timer. It's based off of how many waves we do. Self-explanatory. These are these. If you see this, well, it takes forever. If you use localized confusion, you're gonna be sitting there for like 17 minutes, and there's going to be no enemies spawning in. Firebomb hell pods. Anytime you call down something, the hell pod will explode with fire out from underneath of it, right when it impacts. Same thing as stun. It throws stun down. Sample extractor. Yeah, no. Sample. Dang, you get more samples. Shit. Dead sprint, you lose your health when you're out of stamina. I don't really care about dead sprint. It kind of sucks. Armed resupply pod. It resupply pod now shoot. It shoot. It shoot big time. This experimental infusion, this stim pistol, and the medic passive, or the medkit passive, what I should say. It fucks. This is your Panzer chocolate. This is your meth. Usually take more hits, sprint longer. This is pretty useful when you're messing with like a water planet, you know, because everybody's going to be slowed down. You use muscle enhancement to just not do that. Just muscle enhancement ignores all that. You don't need that. Career shows how many times you shot something in the face. You know, missions won, played, you know. You can choose to just start backhanding stuff. Friendly kills. Friendly kills are weird. Sometimes it'll say you got killed by a friendly. Sometimes it'll say you got killed by you. Don't know why. That's been an ongoing bug. I'm usually pretty good at not doing friendly kills, but for some reason I'm at 620, and I know that's false. Enemy kills, you know, just you hit Alt F4 on them. Big time. Loadouts. So,
Greetings, Helldiver.
select this
The
shut
galactic
up.
Mission coordinates locked.
Okay, so you see how all these
Hell
popped
pods
up?
primed.
That means we can now step into the hell pod. Usually, squad lead will always get the ability to, you know, pick. He has the final say-so. He or she. They can pick wherever we spawn in as long as it's not... There we go. As long as it's not that. Invalid drop point, then no go. You can, however, suggest a drop point. That doesn't really fucking work. You know, usually people will just be like, alright, right here, wait for everybody to get into a hell pod, and then they select it. Here, let's say I don't want to run this armor. I have a reason that I want to run this armor. I don't like that. Well, I can... Yep, shit. I can press square for equipment, and it'll pull up all of my equipment. It'll pull up everybody's. So you can see exactly who's running what. Like what armor set, helmet, cape, primary, secondary, and grenades, and their equipment. Let's say I don't like this armor. I would hit A or X, depending on the controller. I'm going to say X because I'm on PlayStation. Say I don't like this armor. Well, I can go into this menu, hit L2 to jump up to medium so I don't have to sit there and scroll. It takes forever. L2 and R2, you press R2 to go up in armor until you want to cycle back down. You press L2 to go less. R2 more, L2 less, unless you just cycle through. Up to you. So, let's say I want to run, I don't know, Democracy Protects. Select it, make sure I got the little dot on it. Now I got the Democracy Protects armor. Now, I would hit square again, or X on Xbox, and that's when we can start selecting stratagems. You'd press X or A, select what you want. Usually, let's see, when I was a low level, I had this here. You can also press L2 and R2 to cycle through these. You know, do that. I want an eat. I want a jump pack. Press R2. I want a machine gun. This is what I have. You can see everybody's when they're all, you know, in the mission. Now you go over to booster, and then you can select the booster. Hit X on it, and then I don't know what it is on Xbox. I assume the back button, but on PlayStation it's the touchpad. Your character will salute to indicate that they're ready, like that. And then once everybody is saluting, we'll, drop down, do the mission, clap our hands, and then, go back on Pelican.
Hellpod launch suspended.
And, we'll come out on top of that little platform back there. Now, if you're going to buy stratagems and you're with people that you know, say something. For the love of God, say something. Because if squad lead is to ever get inside a hellpod, you have 20 seconds before you get yanked into a hellpod. It's just something that happens. It's something, I don't know why they do it like that. I guess it's to make people hurry up. So, let's say that you're playing, with us. You'd be like, hey, I want to spend money. Okay, well, whoever squad lead would jump out of their hellpod, wait patiently next to it till you get done doing what you're doing. You say, alright, I'm ready. Then they would get into their hellpod, like this. And then, you'd still be running up, get into the hellpod, and everybody goes, yay, we now have new shit. So, that's Helldivers in a nutshell.
Hellpod launch suspended.
You have to do the tutorial. I mean, this is going to be the first thing you see. Sometimes, sometimes you're supposed to zigzag, sometimes you're not.
Man, I can't believe we're actually gonna become Helldivers.
Approaching LZ. Next recruit, prepare to dismount.
So,
Liberating the galaxy,
this is
stomping
the same.
bugs, every kid's dream. Good luck out there. I'll see you on the front lines.
Don't have a cape yet, because we're not a Helldiver yet. We're just wearing the armor.
Recruit. Use your map to find your way to the training facility.
Let's see. Here it is. I think is it this? No. There's supposed to be a sign nearby. It might be over here. So, back on Mars, there was a sign that said, meet you... Dad.
Your instructor is waiting for you
Oh,
up
here it
ahead.
is.
Please proceed.
So, it was a passive update with this sign. Somebody made a joke about, oh, if I go behind it, there's no funny on the backside of it. Well, they updated the game to where now there is a funny. Laugh. It's a thing we do now, I guess.
I'm General Brash, Super Earth's oldest and most grizzled war hero, and I'm not easy to impress. Helldiver training is the toughest test in the galaxy, but I can tell that doesn't scare you. Impressive. Now, enough jib-jab. The upcoming obstacles will take everything your exceptional physique can muster. This is it, the real deal. Get to it, soldier.
You have auto
In
mantle.
all my years, I've never witnessed such acrobatic perfection. I think you're ready for our highly realistic battlefield simulator. That's right, the real deal.
Also, if you don't like how this armor looks, there are different ones. There are different looks. Like, see? Now my forearm is bright yellow. So if you don't like certain armor sets as the default armor, there's different ones. So.
Impeccable. Like I always say, the best simulation is a real simulation. Now, activate the battlefield injury simulator.
Oh, I'm actually hemorrhaging.
Soldier, grab that stim and patch yourself
Will I
up.
bleed out?
Recruit expired. Reset course and
That's
instant
new.
extra
Yeah, it's real new. So usually in the old days, you could walk around hemorrhaging and it didn't do any damage to you. Now it does. Also, it kind of messes up your arm for some reason.
There, good as new. Now, look sharp. You're about to encounter democracy's
So-
sworn enemy, recruit. There it is. The Terminid, the scourge of liberty. Arm
Yeah.
yourself.
You're gonna see all this when you play. But yeah, I mean, that's Helldivers in a nutshell. It fun, easy, simple, self-explanatory for the most part. The tutorial doesn't really teach you anything. It just shows you the bare fucking minimum. It is the bare minimum. It shows you the basics, and then it's like, okay, go play. Bye. So, yep. Anyway, I'm gonna turn the stream off. Hello, Duncan. If you have any questions, ask. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of Helldivers in a nutshell. That I could go in depth without being here for hours. So, anyway, I'm gonna go. Yep, no problem. You're welcome. Bye.